The stars shimmered across the dark canvas of space. Among them, something strange began to stir, an opening like a tear in reality itself. From this tear, massive silver ships slowly emerged, silent and smooth like shadows. The human vanguard fleet had returned. For over 200 years, the galaxy believed humanity was gone. Earth had gone dark, its systems silent, its colonies abandoned. The great empires of the galaxy moved on. Wars raged, alliances broke, and species turned against each other. But now the forgotten race had reappeared, with ships larger, faster, and more advanced than anything the galaxy had seen. At the heart of the fleet stood the flagship UHS Resolute. Its command bridge was calm, glowing with blue lights and filled with the quiet hum of advanced systems. In the center stood Commander William Carter. He was tall and focused, his uniform crisp, his eyes sharp. Carter was not just a soldier. He was the result of 2 centuries of training, born and raised in the hidden dimension called the Void Fold. Time moved slower there. While the galaxy lived through 200 years, Carter had only aged 38. "Fleet formation stable," reported Lieutenant Mira. "All ships are in position." Carter nodded. "Good. Begin broadcast." A quiet beep signaled the live transmission. Across hundreds of systems, Carter's voice reached alien worlds, warships and leaders. "This is Commander William Carter of the Human Vanguard Fleet," he said, his voice calm but firm. "We are not your enemy. We are not here for revenge. Humanity survived. We grew. We watched. Now we return. To end the war. Not to start one." The message ended. Silence followed. No reply came. On the far side of the galaxy, deep within the Zarn Dominion, Warlord Varnik Thrix watched the broadcast on a towering screen. His red eyes narrowed, his clawed hands tapping against the metal table. "So, they return," he said coldly. "And they speak of peace." He laughed, a cruel, echoing sound. "Then they are more dangerous than I thought." Back on the Resolute, Carter stood at the large observation window, looking out at the endless stars. He didn't know how the empires would respond, but he knew one thing for sure. This was only the beginning. The galaxy had changed, but so had humanity. The human vanguard fleet held position near the edge of neutral space, waiting. Days had passed since Commander William Carter's broadcast. No empire had answered. The silence felt heavier than any threat. Inside the UHS Resolute, Carter reviewed old data from the Galactic Network. Records of human history had faded, rewritten by alien scholars, or forgotten entirely. Humanity had become a myth, a warning told to young alien soldiers about a powerful species that disappeared. In the briefing room, Carter met with his senior officers. "They're afraid," said Admiral Reyes, her voice steady. "They remember the old wars. They think we want to pick up where we left off." "They're not wrong to be cautious," replied Carter. "But fear leads to more war. We didn't survive the Void Fold to become monsters." Lieutenant Mira stood. "Sir, incoming signal. Encrypted. Trin. Confederacy channel." Carter leaned forward. "Put it through." A small holo image appeared. An alien with smooth gray skin, deep blue eyes, and a long neck. It was Ciravel, a diplomatic envoy from the Trin. "Commander Carter," she said with a respectful nod. "The Confederacy wishes to talk. Not all empires want another war." Statter smiled slightly. "Then let's talk." Later that day, Carter and a small team met with Ciravel aboard a neutral station. The air was cold, the lights dim. Cira was calm but cautious. "Many of us grew up hearing stories about your kind," she said. "Some believed humans were gods. Others believed you destroyed yourselves. We came close," Carter replied. "But we learned. We changed." Cira looked into his eyes. "And now you want peace?" "Yes, but I know peace must be earned." Meanwhile, in the Zarn Dominion, Warlord Varnak paced inside his war chamber. His generals stood still, watching the growing footage of the human fleet. "They're reaching out," said one. The Trin responded. Varnak snarled. Fools. If the others believe in this peace, they will fall to human lies. He pointed to a massive screen, showing the size and weapons of the human ships. We strike first. We turn the galaxy against them before they have a chance to gather support. Statter. Back on the Resolute, Carter returned to his quarters. Alone he stared at a small photo, a faded image of Earth before the collapse. He barely remembered it. He was born in the fold. Earth was a dream to him. But Carter had a mission. Not revenge. Not conquest. Peace. Even if the galaxy didn't believe it yet. The silence between empires did not last long. Just days after the Trin Confederacy opened talks with Commander William Carter, tragedy struck. A peaceful alien colony on the edge of Zarn space, Joros III, was attacked. Entire cities were burned. Thousands died. Surveillance footage showed warships that looked unmistakably human. News spread like wildfire across the galactic network. Humans attacked a neutral world. Inside the UHS Resolute, alarms echoed through the corridors. Carter stood in the command room, reading the report again and again, trying to find any error. This can't be real, Lieutenant Mira said. Those ships, they look like ours. But they're not, Carter said. The markings are wrong. The engines burn too hot. Someone's copying us. Who would do that? Admiral Reyes asked. Carter's jaw clenched. Varnak. A new wave of messages arrived. The Federation of Zoris issued a threat. Leave galactic space or face annihilation. The Vossar Empire declared humans a danger to peace. Even the Trin Confederacy paused all further talks. The peace Carter hoped to build was crumbling. He called an emergency council aboard the Resolute. Officers, advisors, and envoys gathered in the strategy chamber. The room buzzed with fear and doubt. We should strike first, said one officer. Show them we won't be pushed around. No, Carter said firmly. We won't fall into that trap. He looked around the room. Someone wants us blamed. If we attack now, we become what they fear. Admiral Reyes folded her arms. Then what's your plan, Commander? We prove the truth, Carter said. We expose the real attacker. Meanwhile, in the Zarn Dominion, Warlord Varnak stood before his fleet, watching the chaos unfold. His plan was working. He had built a copy of human ships using stolen designs. His agents had dressed like humans, used their language, even sent fake messages in Carter's name. Now, the galaxy was turning against them. They will fear what they don't understand, Varnak said to his commanders. And fear will drive them to me. But not everyone was convinced. Saravel, watching from a neutral Trin outpost, saw the news of Joros Thur with sorrow. She remembered Carter's eyes, calm, honest, tired. She wanted to believe in peace, and deep down she believed Carter wasn't behind the attack. She sent a private message through a secure line. Commander Carter, I don't believe you did this, but belief isn't enough. We need proof, fast. Back on the Resolute, Carter stared at the screen, reading Sarah's message. We're running out of time, he said. Outside the ship, stars burned cold and distant. The galaxy stood on the edge of war again. Tension spread through the halls of the UHS Resolute, like a slow-burning fire. Officers and crew whispered in corners. Messages from across the galaxy flooded in, most full of suspicion, some full of hate. In the command room, Commander William Carter stood with arms crossed, his face set and calm. But inside, he felt the pressure mounting. The fake attack on Joros III had damaged everything he worked for. Without proof, the galaxy would never believe him. Admiral Reyes entered the room with a tablet. Another message from the Zorith. They've given us 2 days to retreat from galactic space, or they'll strike. Carter didn't flinch. We're not retreating. Reyes frowned. Our people are scared. Some want to go back to the fold. Carter shook his head. If we leave now, we lose everything. The galaxy needs to see we stand for peace, even when it's hard. Reyes stepped closer. Some of our own officers think you're wrong. They think you're too soft. There's talk of taking control. Carter's eyes narrowed. Let them talk. Elsewhere on the ship, a group of officers met in secret. Commander Valendros, second in command of one of the destroyers, spoke with anger. "We waited centuries," he said. "We trained for war, for justice, and now Carter wants to sit still while they blame us for crimes we didn't commit." Another officer nodded. "He's losing control. Maybe it's time someone else made the decisions." The seeds of rebellion were growing. That same day, a secret transmission arrived from Ciravel. It was encrypted and urgent. Carter and Lieutenant Mira decoded the message in the briefing room. Syrah's face appeared on the screen. "I've traced the ships that attacked Joros III," she said. "They came from a hidden base near the edge of Zarn space. Not a human base, Dominion technology cloaked to look human." Carter's hands tightened into fists. "This is the proof we need," Mira said quietly. Carter nodded. "But it's not enough to say it. We need to show it." He called a meeting with his senior crew. The officers gathered, tense and quiet. "I know some of you doubt me," Carter began. "Some think I'm too careful, too slow." No one spoke. "But I will not lead us into war on a lie. Varnak wants us to strike first. He wants to unite the galaxy against us." He showed them Syrah's message. "This base exists. We're going to find it. We're going to expose the truth." Reyes looked around the room. "Anyone who still wants to fight the galaxy, speak now." No one moved. The moment passed. Carter looked toward the stars beyond the window. "If we fail, the galaxy burns. If we succeed, maybe, just maybe, it begins to heal." The human fleet moved in silence. Hidden by advanced stealth fields, the UHS Resolute led a small task force toward a dark region of space near the Zarn Dominion border. This was where the fake human ships had launched from. The base that started it all was out there, somewhere in the shadows. Commander William Carter stood on the bridge, eyes focused, arms behind his back. "All ships hold formation," he ordered. "We go in quiet. No lights, no signals. We find the truth, not a war." "Coordinates locked," said Lieutenant Mira. "Approaching target zone." Through the forward windows, the stars seemed to vanish. Ahead was a cold black void. And in that void, a structure began to appear. It was massive. A hidden station carved into an asteroid. Its outer shell had the exact shape of human design, but its engines and tech gave it away. Dominion built. Carter stared. There it is. Inside the base, Dominion officers moved quickly. Warlord Varnak had been warned. His spies told him the humans were coming. He stood in his war chamber, watching the incoming feed. "They come not to talk," he growled, "but to expose me. Let them try." Back aboard the Resolute, Carter prepared a small infiltration team. He couldn't risk sending too many. If caught, a full fleet battle could start. Carter, Mira, and a team of 5 boarded a stealth shuttle. The bay doors opened with a hiss, and they slipped silently toward the base. "Ready weapons," Mira whispered. "No mistakes." The shuttle docked with a maintenance hatch on the station. Carter led the way, moving through narrow tunnels and old corridors. The air was cold. The metal walls hummed faintly. They reached a control room. Mira hacked the system. Within seconds, files began to load. Video logs, ship schematics, orders signed by Dominion generals. All proof that Varnak had faked the attack on Joros III. Carter watched a video of Dominion ships being painted with human markings. Of alien soldiers dressed in human armor, speaking rehearsed English. "This is it," Carter said. "Send it all to the Resolute." Before they could move, alarm screamed. "They know we're here," Mira shouted. From the corridors, Dominion guards came running. "Back to the shuttle," Carter ordered. The team fought their way through tight halls. Laser fire lit the walls. Mira took a hit to the arm but kept moving. They made it back to the shuttle, just in time. Engines roared as they launched away, chased by Dominion fighters. On the Resolute, Admiral Reyes locked onto their signal. "Bring them home." Turrets on the ship opened fire, clearing the path. The shuttle docked safely. The crew rushed Carter and the team to medical. Mira winced as medics treated her arm. "Was it worth it?" Carter held up a drive. "This will save us all, or bring the whole galaxy down. In the Zarn Dominion, Varnak roared with rage as he watched the humans escape. "Prepare my fleet," he barked. "We strike Earth, now." The evidence was undeniable. Inside the command room of the UHS Resolute, Commander William Carter stood before a large screen. Images played, Dominion soldiers in fake human armor, Dominion ships repainted to look like human warcraft, video logs showing Warlord Varnak's orders. The truth was clear. "We send this across the galactic network," Carter said. "Every empire, every leader, everyone." Admiral Reyes nodded. "The transmission is ready. Do it." Within minutes, Carter's message reached every corner of the galaxy. Screens across alien worlds lit up with his calm voice and clear images of the truth. "This is not who we are," he said. "The attack on Joros III was a lie. A trick by the Zarn Dominion to divide us. Humanity returned for peace. But we will not stay silent in the face of war." Reactions were instant. The Tren Confederacy confirmed the data. The Federation of Zorist pulled back its fleet. Even the Vossar Empire, once cold and distant, opened diplomatic talks again. One by one, the galaxy turned away from Varnak. But Varnak did not back down. In his war chamber, rage boiled through him. He slammed his fist into the metal table. "They doubt me," he snarled. "They side with the humans." He turned to his generals. "We strike Earth. We finish them before they rise again." Within hours, the Dominion fleet began its march, hundreds of warships heading straight for the solar system. Back on the Resolute, sensors lit up with warnings. "Dominion ships inbound," Mira reported. "They're heading for Earth." Carter didn't hesitate. "We intercept now." The human vanguard fleet set course. Along the way, they received unexpected support. Trin cruisers, Zorist frigates, and even Vossar scouts joined formation. "What is this?" Reyes asked, amazed. Carter watched the incoming ships with a steady gaze. "This," he said, "is what peace looks like when people choose to fight for it." The joint fleet reached Earth's orbit just as the Dominion Armada arrived. The stars filled with ships, weapons charged, engines burning. Carter opened a channel. "This is your last chance, Varnak," he said. "Stand down." Varnak appeared on screen, eyes glowing red, his voice low and full of hate. "You think you've won. You think the galaxy will follow you. They fear you more than they fear me." "You're wrong," Carter replied. "They've seen the truth." Without another word, Varnak cut the transmission. His ships advanced. "All units," Carter ordered. "Defensive formation. Hold the line. No one gets past us." The battle began. Laser fire lit the sky. Ships twisted and turned through space. Human fighters danced between Dominion cruisers, covering their allies. Trin and Zorus ships worked side by side with human carriers. Carter stayed calm, directing fleets like a conductor with perfect control. "Push their flank," he said. "Target their command ship. Break their will." Hours passed. Slowly, the Dominion line cracked. One ship after another fell. Finally, the Dominion flagship, the heart of the enemy fleet, was surrounded. Carter gave the final command. "Board the ship. Bring Varnak in." A special forces team stormed the Dominion flagship. Inside, Varnak fought with fury. But he was outnumbered, his power gone. He was captured. The war was over. The fires of battle faded. Above Earth, the stars were quiet once more. Pieces of broken ships drifted in space like frozen memories. But the human fleet still stood. And alongside it, ships from Trin, Zaruth, and Vossar floated in peace. Commander William Carter stood on the bridge of the UHS Resolute, silent for a long time. He looked out at the planet below. Earth, his true home. The place he had never stepped foot on, only seen in records and dreams. Now it was safe. "Status?" he asked quietly. "All enemy ships have surrendered or fled," reported Lieutenant Mira. Her arm was still bandaged, but her voice was strong. "No major losses on our side." "The Alliance held," Carter nodded. "And Varnak?" "In custody. He refuses to speak." Admiral Reyes approached. "The galaxy is watching, Commander. They want to know what happens next." Carter turned to her. We don't punish, we rebuild. Later that day, leaders from the Trin Confederacy, the Zeroth Federation, and the Vosar Empire joined Carter aboard a neutral station orbiting Earth. Together they signed a declaration. It was simple: peace. A galactic peace council was formed. An alliance of empires and species, with equal voice and shared responsibility. Humanity would take one seat at the table. Not as rulers, not as saviors, as partners. During the signing, Sura Vel stood beside Carter. You proved them wrong, she said. Carter smiled. I didn't do it alone. Sura looked out the window at Earth. What will you do now? Carter took a deep breath. We explore, we learn. We lead by example. He paused, then added. And maybe I'll visit Earth, for the first time. The news of peace spread quickly. Across the galaxy, weapons fell silent. Soldiers went home, borders reopened. Trade and travel resumed. For the first time in centuries, there was hope. On the UHS Resolute, Carter addressed his crew one final time. We didn't return to fight, he said. We returned to remind the galaxy what we stand for. Unity, peace, truth. He looked at each of them. You carried that message farther than anyone thought possible. And now, it begins. The crew stood in silence. Then came the applause. Quiet at first, then strong and full of pride. The stars waited beyond the window. Endless, peaceful. For the first time in generations, they belonged to everyone.